Uptown, uptown. The N is for niggas, niggas. The L is for living, living. The V is for violent, violent. U is for uptown, uptown. The N is for niggas, niggas. The L is for living, living. The V is for violent, violent.
Before the Hot Boys took over the airwaves in the late 90s with Cash Money Records, UNLV was one of the first supergroups out of New Orleans that helped build Cash Money Records. UNLV stands for Uptown Niggas Living Violent. The original members of the group were Lil Ya, Yafet Jones, Tech Nine, Reginald Manuel, and Yellow Boy Albert Thomas. The Nation of Podcation sat down with Lil Ya to tell the entire story of UNLV, from growing up on the rough streets of New Orleans to meeting Brian Birdman Williams and Ronald Slim Williams and making their debut album Sixth and Barone, released in 1993 on Cash Money Records. Lil Ya tells the group's successes in the early 90s, turmoil between the group members, and the label. Lil Ya speaks on Tech Nine being arrested and also the untimely passing of Yellow Boy. There would be no Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Juvenile, and the other top Cash Money artists without the foundation that UNLV built. So let's listen in as Lil Ya tells the entire UNLV story. There was a rumor, and I've looked it up. I've seen a few other sites have covered it. They basically talk about. Let me get to it. I want to make sure I'm accurate with this. They said this is so. Let me ask you this first. What do you think is the reason between Birdman and Master P not working together?
I always thought they both wanted their own empire. You know what I mean? I never. You got to think, we didn't come up well. Networking, when we was taught networking wasn't too cool. You know what I'm saying? That was the Cash Money era we come from. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't just get anybody on the record that we wanted to. You know, for us paying them or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you wasn't a part of Cash Money, 9 times out of 10 you wasn't getting on anything for UNLV, anything for Miss T, anything for BG, unless you UGK. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But times has changed. But back then, I always thought, you know, they both had, you know, $1 million companies. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like they don't have to work together.
Okay, so I'm going to lead into my question with this. I want you to comment on both of them. So there's rumors, allegedly, that Gangsta Williams had something to do with the murder of one of Master P's cousins, Randall Watts, and that's part of the reason why they don't work together. Do you know anything about that, or?
I don't know if there's any truth to that. I really don't know.
Okay.
I never met Randall. I heard a lot about him. You know what I'm saying? I was aware of who he was, but I when he was murdered, I didn't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So this was leading up to this part. So there's stories going around the internet that I'm just gonna read this little part to you. So it says, when the two met Master P face to face with their proposal, it followed up with Master P slapping Gangsta in the face and No Limit Crew pulling guns on Baby and Gangsta. P basically made both of them tuck their tails and kick rocks. That's what the quote is from this site. Have you ever heard of anything about a meeting gone wrong? Because there's been multiple reports about that happening. I've heard where Gangsta supposedly got shot, or excuse me, not shot, slapped. I heard where Birdman Baby got slapped. What do you know about that?
I never heard any of that. I never heard any of that.
Yeah, because that was the reason they said that those two.
That's a hell of a rumor.
Right. Yeah. Well, they said that was the reason why that they haven't worked together, because of that altercation. Now, I don't know if anybody got slapped or not, but they said, so, you know, I've seen where there have been reports where guns were drawn and then Birdman and whomever he was with went away and that's part of the reason. I also heard about the Randall Watts thing. I've also heard from what you said in previous interviews with me that a lot of Master P would take a lot of Cash Money's ideas as far as the Bout It stuff, like that you guys started. They took that, and just some other concepts that the Hot Boys deal. They kind of took that, and he made a song called Hot Boys and Hot Girls or whatever. So. Can you is that? Do you think that's the reason why?
That's facts. That he stole a lot from Cash Money, a lot of our material as well when we were with Cash Money. You know what I mean? But that other stuff, I can't say that's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's my first time hearing about it.
Okay, really? Yeah. Now, Manny Fresh said the beef was because of, similar to what you said. He said that they would just be stealing you guys' concepts and then not giving you credit, or not, because they said Manny was basically saying if they had been like, shout out to Cash Money Hot Boys or something like that, maybe it wouldn't have been a beef because they would have been given credit. Or maybe if they had been like, shout out to UNLV, when they was talking about I'm Bout It, maybe it wouldn't have been a beef. How do you feel about that?
I never knew that there was any beef with Cash Money and No Limit, and I never knew that it was any beef with Baby and Slim. Okay. If you think about it, Soulja Slim was one that we got into it with Baby and Slim for a feature from him on our album. So when they did allow that to happen, he returned the favor when he got with No Limit. So you think about the song, from what I was told from Soulja Slim, he said he mentioned us in the song. He said I was on a Come Up Move with UNLV. That's the name of the song that we done with him. It was called Come Up Move.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if there was any beef with No Limit and Cash Money, I don't think people are allowed to say anything about, any Cash Money artists on a record.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then, we had a relationship with C Murder. That's our fucking dude to this day.
Facts. Okay, and that's what I was gonna get. That was my next question. What was you guys' relationship with some of the No Limit artists?
Skullduggery. That was one of our dudes. God bless his soul.
R.I.P.
That was one of our main dudes since Worcester, junior high.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Skullduggery also did a song with Cash Money back in the days. Him and Jacko, God bless his soul, dude out of Magnolia. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I mean, we had Skullduggery. We was cool with Kane and Abel over there as well.
Okay, yeah, the twins. Yep.
Mr. Servon was he stayed on 6 and Barone, so we knew him coming up. You know what I mean? Okay. We was rapping for him, but we all we grew up under him.
Yeah. So it's I was watching a Fiend interview, and he said that
went to school with Fiend. That was how dude.
Yeah, he said all of y'all. He said that. Now he said something similar to what you said. He said all the artists was cool. He said all the artists was cool. It didn't matter from because he was saying like Manny Fresh and Mia X were real cool. Yeah, yeah. They were saying everybody was cool, just except the heads of the two snakes. They said it was just Birdman and Master P. So yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I never knew it was friction. Like I said, I always thought they worked together because they both had their own status, and and networking wasn't as cool back then as it is now.
Yeah. Now, to me, I always we up here we always wonder why there was no understand what you're saying, because there wasn't a lot of cross, like even like with Death Row and Bad Boy, there wasn't no crossing, and stuff like that. Back in the days, it wasn't as many collaborations. That's why collaborations were more special back in the day, because you didn't get as many of them like today. Yeah. Everybody's on everybody's stuff. So Yeah, just I mean, because we were talking. I mean, just think of all the music that could have been done. I mean, UNLV featuring C Murder. TRU featuring UNLV. Lil Wayne featuring Mystical. It could just the combinations would have been, it would have been endless. I think that might be looked at as a missed opportunity, and just think of the tours y'all could have done. The No Limit Cash Money tour between, like you said, 96 and to 99. I mean, those numbers would have been something crazy.
Mm-hmm.